Hello everyone and welcome to my page, Messages from Venus. This is a video, zoom in a little bit more without it being, no, as usual. Okay, so this is a video about las cartas españolas, and these cards are a playing card deck that's used in not only Spain but a lot of other Spanish-speaking countries. When I first started learning about the tarot, I learned about the tarot in a Marseille style. My family did not use the Rider-Waite-Smith. They used Marseille style decks. Not specifically like the Tarot of de Marseille that's seen in Amazon, but it's more of the pictures depicted in this deck. This is a small playing card deck. You can get this deck for like $1 at Amazon. It brings this little card right here that tells you how to play the game with these cards, but because I am a reader, I can use these cards for divination uses. Now, if you want to learn how to use these cards, all you have to do is apply the meaning of the numbers, numerology, and also the elements, which is fire, water, air, etc. Earth. The only thing about this specific deck right here is that this deck only has 1 through 7. It does not have numbers 9 or 8. And it uses number 10, 11, and 12. And I will show you guys. But as you know, with anybody that understands numerology, you know that the numbers are only 1 through 9, not 1 through 10, because 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it is 1 through 9. Numerology is based out of the numbers 1 through 9 when you add them up all together. It always goes back to basis. Even though there are numbers such as like the number 44 is very popular, the number 1111, 222 is very popular with like the angelic realm. Or the number 888 is also associated with ancient Kemet and the Aztec. I don't even know if I should say the Aztec pyramids or the Astatian pyramid. Like, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna just say the pyramids in the Aztec world, or those pyramids in South America. So the number 888 is very important. So 888. But if you add them all together, whatever that number is, whatever single digit number that is, that's the actual frequency of that number. So let's get to the cards. These are the back of the cards, and these cards have they're reversible, and they have, I think that is a rooster. The back of the cards are a rooster. This is the Four of Cups. Oh, this is the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups has writing on it because most people use these cards for games, but since I am a collector, I use this to divine. And most of the time, if you look in the history of the tarot, that's what people would consider the tarot, was a playing card deck, which means you used it for games, not to divine. But somewhere along the line, we now use them for divination. So this is the Four of Cups. So if any of you guys don't like the fact that there's writing on it, then maybe these are not the cards for you, because it has writing on the number 4 and the Ace of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the number 3. You see, I'm doing this behind camera. So this is the number 3. Let me just take the deck. This is the Three of Swords. So they're pip-like. Let's see. And as you can see, the designs are the same designs used in some of the Marseille decks. Now, these decks also have They have kings and what would be considered kings, knights, and pages in the deck, but they don't have any queens in this deck. See, and then the number 1, which is the Ace of Pentacles, and all the pentacles have the face of a woman. And this is an actual name of these specific cards, which is the Don Clemente extra cards, or las cartas de Don Clemente. And they are the Niapi, or the Niap extra cards. I'm not quite sure what the actual name is, to be honest, but I think this is a publishing company up here, if I'm not mistaken. And these are made in Mexico, but these cards are also seen in Spain. Like, most of the history also comes from Spain, or most of it comes from playing cards or playing games from Spain. So, like I said, very Pip-like. And since I'm in like my Tarot So White, quote unquote, or my these decks are so white rants for the past month or two, I don't mind that they don't have any. I mean, I'm not going to say African American, because that's not what I'm arguing about when I'm arguing about, or when I'm speaking about tarot decks being so white. I'm speaking about all cultures, including all cultures in a deck, not just white and black. There's like more cultures out there. There's Hispanics, there's people that don't even consider themselves Hispanics, there's Latinos, there's Native Americans, there's Russian, there's Egyptian people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just include different people and faces. But since this is old school and old style, they have not changed at all. And like, as you can see, this is the Two of Wands. These have the number 11 and what was it, the number 12 right here. So that is that. Number 10, like I said. And I will be using these as a deck for the July readings. And the way I use these cards is as playing cards, of course. That's how I use them to divine. And I also use them to clear up things. So, for example, let's say I have... As a matter of fact, let me go get my tarot deck right now, and you'll see the ones that I'll be using. Okay, these are not the ones that I'm going to be using. This is a deck that I just got today. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith Universal Books of New Hyde Publishing, the one with the pink ink in the back. But let's say I have a card such as, let's see if I could get a card. Alright, so let's say the Five of Cups. And let's say I have this card right here, and this card is the only card that's facing to the nothing, because these are also strategies that you can use when you are learning how to read the tarot. So let's say I'm using this, there's this card, the Five of Cups, and it's looking towards the nothing. So for me to clear up, let's say a querence, or I'm doing a general reading and someone has a question about, so what is it that I am missing? Even though they might already know, like, okay, I'm focusing too much on this. But if you want to give an accurate reading, you want to tell them that. You don't want your querence to tell you what they need clearance in, which most of the time they already know they need clearance in, but they just need the extra oomph for them to be, you know, propelled forward or pushed forward to getting things a little bit more organized in their life. So what I would do is, let's say I would shuffle the deck. Shuffling, and here is the Four of Pentacles. So, or what you would consider the Four of Pentacles. So I would say, okay, so you're focusing too much on things that you want to be a perfectionist right now. You want to organize things. Number fours, or the fours, are foundations. Whether you are is the Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords. You're coming through some type of foundation, or a period of relaxation, or a period of foundation, so that you can propel to go somewhere else. So the Four of Pentacles, I would say, okay, so you're focusing too much on having a better foundation on your money, or having a better foundation on spiritual grounding. I can say something like that, and that will give them a better understanding as to what exactly is it that they are focusing too much on. They might be focusing on different parts of their lives, like love, finances, etc., etc. I could have easily said, okay, yeah, so you're focusing on your emotions because this is the Five of Cups. But if I want a little bit more clearance on what they're specifically focusing their emotions on, I would say, okay, so you're focusing your emotions too much, or your thoughts are being focused too much on your financial gains, or your grounding, or how you will get up from your feet financially. So that's kind of like a little bit of an example of how I would use the card. Sometimes I use one card to explain it. Sometimes I use 3 cards. Sometimes I use 1 card. That's how I would use the playing cards. However, my lineage or family members use these cards as actual divination tools. They used the bigger decks, and that looked kind of like this, but they had 1 through 10 in the tarot, like the 78 cards, pages, queens. They have all of that, but it's just more pip like this one. They're all pip. Those are the cards that were used Marseille style, and or playing cards, and or cards like this, but that had the entire 1 through 10 instead of 1 through 7, skip 8 and 9, and then go to 10 to 12. So that's my little review of these cards. If you are interested in getting these cards, I will put the link below to the link at Amazon. If you are, especially if you're a collector and you want to try something new. And so I think that's all that I'm gonna say. Oh, and the cardstock. It's a little flimsy, but they're good enough for me because I don't use them as the direct divination tool. I use them more for clearance. So like I would have my tarot deck, and then I would have these cards. And so shuffling them is not a problem. And they're a little bit bigger than the Lenormand cards. Just a tad bit bigger. And they're shuffleable. See? Perfect for my little hands because I have tiny itty bitties. But yeah, if you're interested, I will leave the link in the description box. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!